Okay. I think I got my audio working. Now I just got to get your guys' audio working. Alrighty. Sorry about the technical difficulties, folks that are listening in. We are working on it, so give us just a moment. What I need is that elevator music that used to play Law in TeamSpeak. Let's try. Okay. I think they hear me. I don't think they hear you guys. So that's the one I got to fix. Unless they can confirm that they hear you guys, but I don't think they do. Yeah, yeah. All right, what we'll do, I'm just going to add a new source. We'll just start fresh, and hopefully that'll fix it. Yep, only me. Okay. It's good to know. Let's see if we can get this sorted here. Nope, that's showing my whole Discord. That's not what I want. Man, I'm so sorry about this, everybody. Oh, man.
I need to put on some coffee. That's what I needed.
All right. I think I got you guys. I think it's coming through now.
You want to do a test for everybody?
Nope. It should be coming through. We'll have the chat here confirm in just a second. But it should be coming through now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of echo reverb when he talked. But I could hear him.
All right. Okay, so we'll start this episode from the top and just kind of get things going again. This is episode 8 of the Cav Cast. We definitely had a little bit of technical difficulty, but hey, that is life. This is a special Thanksgiving episode. I apologize if there's a slight echo. We're going to do our best with it. I can try and adjust some stuff on the fly. But for the most part, yeah, it is what it is. We're gonna kind of go with it. So I appreciate you guys joining us. This again is a special Thanksgiving episode. We do have quite a few different people from across the regiment, so we're gonna give them all a chance to introduce themselves, and then we'll kind of jump into some questions that we have prepared. So let's start off with Second Lieutenant Anderson.
Yeah. Hi. I'm Second Lieutenant Anderson. Been in the Cav for about a year and 3 months. I was commissioned 2 months ago to 3rd Platoon Alpha Company. Great group of guys and girls down there, and having a lot of fun in the Cav.
All right, cool. Thank you, Anderson. Next, we're going to jump over to Colonel Bud.
Hello, I'm Colonel Bud. I've been here been in the Cav for about 4 years. I'm currently the executive officer for ACD Battalion, and I'm the 1IC for the Regimental Recruiting Department, and loving the Cav.
Cool. Appreciate you, Colonel Bud. Next, we will jump over to our new producer, Captain Robbie.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. It's my pleasure and honor to take over from Burton from what he gets created here and continue it forward with Next Hex, our Command Sergeant Major. About me, I've been with the Cav, time and service, just about 11 years. about 5 years of active time in service. I was Alpha Co 17's commander, Bravo Co section lead for 17, as well as Charlie Co infantryman back in the Arma 2 days for 17. Other than that, spent some time in 27 with the doomed PlanetSide 2 first iteration, and other than that, I really just spend time in secondary billets, contributing where I can and helping out with what I can.
Appreciate you, Captain Robbie. Next up is Sergeant Bush.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Bush. I am the current section leader for Charlie Section, 1st Platoon, with the newly formed Charlie Company for 27 Battalion. We are an all armor company, so all of our troopers here in Charlie Company are armor boys. So it's a new thing we're trying out in 27, and so far it's been really good. I'm also the S1 uniform senior, one of the current seniors for S1, doing a lot of uniform work for you guys. So it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. I'm also the one of the current S7 Hell Let Loose School of Armor instructors as well. So anytime we run a class and stuff like that, some of the stuff we partake in. Joined almost a year to date. December 6th is coming up. So almost a year in. I've been really enjoying my time here so far, so thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, appreciate you, Bush. And last but not least, we have the one and the only Specialist Law.
Thanks, Madge. Appreciate it. Hey, guys. How are y'all? Hope everybody's well. I'm Law. Right now, I currently act as a crew chief with the Alpha Company. Some of the best flyers I've ever been around for the outstanding job. I've enjoyed this role. I've had a lot of people that have taken care of me and just really have a good time doing it. I have worked in a capacity of infantry when I started at Cav about 2012. Started with Delta Company Heavy Weapons, met some wonderful people, stayed in touch with for a very long time. Ended up taking that stroll to PlanetSide, which was like cutting my testicles off. But it's a good cause. It's a good cause. I am 56. I am medically retired law enforcement, 30 years. I spent that time in patrol, traffic, motors, supervisor in 06. Let's see, that was in Murfreesboro. Before that, worked in a little town, Cheville, and then Capitol Police. And I was in the Army before that with the 82nd, and was 11 hotels. Well, initially it was 11 X-ray, and ended up becoming 11 hotel. Did a 9-month stint in Italy, rotated back to Bragg, stayed at Bragg, and that's about it, pretty much. I've enjoyed my time here, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Law, and I appreciate you coming. And again, appreciate you all joining us today. So we do have quite a few questions that we're going to go through, but feel free to send your questions through the chat as well, and we'll try and get to those. But we're kind of just going to start with Anderson at the top and just kind of work our way through. Since this is a Thanksgiving episode, Anderson, what would you say you're most thankful for in your gaming experiences with the clan, or just in general across the past year?
Yeah, I mean there's quite a few things I could probably get into. So I'll kind of just glance over a few. The first one was I got to meet some of the folks both in 1-7 and just across the Cav. Up in Dayton, we went to the Air Force Museum up there for a meetup, which was just really, really cool to, get to see the faces to some of the voices you hear from day to day. One of them was at the time he was my XO, which was and the guy who brought me into the Cav, so it was just really, really cool to get to meet him. And then as far as actual gaming, I mean 2-7's gotten pretty active in the Hell Let Loose competitive scene, and I've got to be kind of the main liaison for that, like finding our competitors and things like that, and just having a lot of fun with that. So pretty much those post practice or post match meetings where we're just hanging out, laughing, and then of course all the time I've spent with my section, um, not even playing Hell Let Loose, but playing things like Golf with Friends, or we ran a 7 Days to Die server for quite a while. It's
Nice.
just been
Yeah.
a really big blast, a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I will say the competitive group that's doing the HLL comp stuff, the Expeditionary Force, that is definitely some of the most fun I've had playing Hell Let Loose. I attended one of your guys' like practices after Trenched in Tuesday,
Yep.
and that was a ton of fun. So if anybody has Hell Let Loose and hasn't attended one of those practices or one of those sessions, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. It's made me a much better player, and it's good because you get to work a lot more with some of the other companies and things like that too. So I'll end it with that. It's been a blast.
Nice. Anybody else have anything they want to add that they're most thankful for as far as gaming goes or the Cav over the last year?
Yeah, I'll add something.
Yeah, go ahead, Bush.
Yeah, I mean, I came into this community right before furlough happened, so for the first 2 weeks or so, not a lot happened, sadly. But once things got going, I really got to know the guys I was going to be working with. I mean, and pretty much, I mean, till now. So I formed a really close relationship with a lot of the guys in CCO, and not just CCO, but ACO and BCOs. They've got a lot of really good guys, and this is just it's the big differences between, from what I've seen from different communities, that really our community kind of sets apart from everybody else is it's that form of brotherhood that we create and form with one another. And it may be different between different companies, different platoons, and different sections, but I feel like we all have, I'm very thankful for the connections and the brotherhoods and the friendships, the long-lasting friendships I have formed here with these guys. And this is definitely a community to be a part of, and one I plan to stay within for as long as I can. So
Yeah,
I'm really
100%.
thankful to those guys out there. They make this this community and this Milsim what it is. So we would not be here without them.
Well, it makes it easy,
definitely makes it easy.
right?
Definitely. I've got nothing, pretty much nothing on my plate most of the time, but thankfully for my guys, they make my job a lot easier. So I'm really thankful, especially the different games that not only Hell Let Loose that we've kind of played around. We've been playing different games. IL2 Sturmovik has been a game that we've been recently playing. We're trying to get a server up for that during the furlough.
Nice.
So it's just the S1 department also. It's a really cool thing to get into if you're really interested in getting into like a secondary billet. The S1 department is pretty fun. I get to mess around on Photoshop with your guys' uniforms all day, so it keeps my day a little bit of entertaining. But I also get to perform a service for you guys, since you guys have done a lot for me. So I want to make sure you guys are taken care of, and I'm really thankful for the community that we have.
How many times have you made yourself General Bush in the Photoshop?
This is live, right?
Yeah.
I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I did it.
Somebody
once or
needs to
twice.
promote him from major, like
Right.
Chiefy Quick.
Yeah.
I tried to see how many ribbons would fit on my uniform.
I mean, you might as well, right? You got access. It's unlimited power, basically.
See, man, I can't say these things, guys. Come on.
Oh, I love it.
It's actually, young man, it was a direct question, so therefore you can answer.
Yeah, there you
See,
go.
there you go. There you
So where's the answer?
go. Somewhere above me.
He
There
keeps
you
go.
beating around the bush. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
It's
Yeah.
just,
Well,
it's
my name is
just us.
Bush. So
The
It's
answer
just
is
us
in
here.
the answer's in the non-answer.
Mhm.
It's just us here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it won't go out of this room.
Yeah, it definitely won't leave this room. It's definitely not being broadcast online.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Cool. So let's jump to our next question, and we'll go with Law for this one. We'll work our way from the bottom now. Can you share a memorable gaming moment, whether it's from the past year or whatever, that you're grateful for?
Oh man, this past year, this year's been a shit show. Sorry, I said it. But this past year has just been able to to get involved, right? To be able to be there, sit in the briefings, and to see the passion and, dare I say, love that a lot of these guys put into this work. I mean, it's very admirable, very um, to me. A lot of times I envy it because of the hard work, right? And that makes it, it doesn't matter what the different missions are. You always see the little pieces and the patches of somebody else putting something in. Dude, it's just it's something like that that gets that blood flowing for me,
Yeah.
and that sense of enjoyment, you know. And then I don't get to do it as often as I'd like. So when I get to and seeing the guys that I've run with for fucking 10 years, right? And they're going, I ain't seen them in forever. Hey, Law, how you doing? Dude, it warms the heart. So it's anytime I'm able to do some of the stuff with these guys,
Yeah.
it really, it's inspiring, it's motivating, and it touches on what we said earlier about the brotherhood and the hard work everybody puts into it, man. It just makes it worthwhile, you know? Sometimes I actually get pissed off when I can't participate, which drives my wife crazy. And
Right.
you know, it's oil and water, right? But it's those things. You know, being able to be in a bird with Lindsay. You know, hearing Lou come over the radio, listening to you over the radio. Even though I may not be physically on the ground where these guys are, being able to have that connection, it's just it's fun. It's exciting, and it makes it worthwhile. Then when you add like above where what do we do the gaming experience this year we talked about is a brotherhood. It's what makes everybody come back, at least it should, right? It's just,
Right.
it all bleeds in together. It's wonderful.
Yeah, there's something special about the Cav, and that it brings so many unique people from all over together. And
Right.
like you said, those moments where even though you might not be directly playing with somebody, you know, in an aircraft or in a tank or in their squad, that split second where you might interact with them in an operation, whether it's over the radio or you're just running past and they go, yo, what's up, Law, or whatever, like that alone makes such a big difference in the experience and creates those
It's
lasting
something.
memories.
Yeah, it's something to some it would be insignificant, right? Some that little interaction may not be very significant, but it's very significant. It makes a difference. It's very impactful,
Yeah.
and it brings. It's like a totality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do have a follow-up question from the audience. Lindsay would like to hear Law tell his favorite memory of them flying together. So you and Lindsay flying together. If you can't think of one, how about the SP we ended up as Cass in a Buffalo?
I came up with something with dude. If you've never flown with Lindsay in this kind of capacity, or any of these guys for that matter, but Lindsay and I mean, we're like the old heads. It's like Statler and Waldorf in their damn helicopter. Um, but we have such a good time, and I'm blind as a bat, so him being able to you know call out a target, and this one was this year specifically, but we kept flying. He kept flying the bird over, and he's right under me. And I'm looking, I'm like, I can't see the sumbitch. And he's flying over, he's right there. Where's there? You know, we're going back
Yeah.
and forth in the helicopter. And this is like a constant with us. So it's like gravity, the numerical constant, right? It's just, you have that moment. We come up with something where if I call out to him Hollywood, we're going to damn bank the bird and just level whatever I can
Nice.
just for
Yeah.
that Hollywood moment. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Just
yeah.
to do it. But you know, there's so many. There's one we ended up. This is several years ago. We got shot down, and I don't know how. Tucker was with us, and we were trying to stay together as an element, trying to move to an ORP or RP, and we're taking fire. I end up getting a sucking chest wound. I got Tuck that's over me doing CPR. Lindsay's providing cover, and Tuck the whole time is just yelling, "Stay with me, Law. Stay with me. It's okay, buddy. You're gonna be fine. Stay with me." And I mean, you can't, you know, when you're all blacked out, you can't say anything anyway. And I'm laughing my ass off,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It was priceless. I mean, it's stuff like that you just don't ever forget. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure, and just to kind of tie on to speak to Lindsay's capabilities as a pilot, I'm pretty sure the only Army Air Medal that I ever earned was with you and Lindsay, and I think we were flying. It was back when they were trying to do the like 68 whiskey medevac.
Yeah, we're trying to do
Pilot thing?
CSAR.
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah,
CSAR
yeah,
basically. and we were flying real low in like a valley or a trench or something. And we took a RPG to the side, and Lindsay tried to auto rotate. Oh yeah, we might have taken 2 RPGs to the side. Lindsay tried to auto rotate. We ended up like taking out a bunch of bad guys on the way down. Law was calling medevac, or not medevac, but maydays over the radio, and I'm just sitting there trying to patch people up as we're crashing because everybody's like passing out. And that was the only time I think I've ever gotten one, and it was just such a memorable experience because everybody was so on point, so interactive with each other, and it was just absolutely chaos, but it was so fun. And I think we survived. We somehow survived that, I believe.
Right. I just, it amazes me, and the capabilities of the guys too. The buttons. I mean, I fat finger them on a routine, right? And the technical capabilities some of these kids have, and being able to do a lot of this stuff, blows my mind anyway. They're like, "Hey, patch me up," and I'm sitting there trying to do Ace Interact and look at this, and oh, it looks like I'm really screwed up here, and then, oh, I got you, you're fine. Oh, well,
Right.
kiss my ass,
Law is just off in his own world.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Anybody else got any memorable gaming moments from the past year they want to share?
Yeah, I've got one. Recently, one of the last operations we did, Rusty Anvil.
Oh boy.
Myself, were you there, Anderson?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh man. Myself, Lee Freed was the tank commander, I was the gunner, and I had Burkowski running in driver. We were able to get into our Panther tank on what was it, Utah Beach?
Yes.
I believe so. We had to defend this objective, this checkpoint, whatever, I can't remember. But we posted it up north, right next to this AT gun, and as soon as the operation started, all you see is these little dots of infantry show up on the horizon coming down through this valley, which was really the only exit off the beach. And we're just sitting there. The Lee Freed, our tank commander, is just like, oh no, just don't open fire yet. Just wait. So we're sitting there waiting. We get a tank come up out of nowhere. We start engaging with him. All of a sudden, all hell loose just breaks out, man.
Yeah.
AT guns just start shooting off. They're ricocheting off the tank. We start engaging. We were able to take it out. All of a sudden, the infantry just kind of just start scattering. We shift up a little bit to get into a different firing position, and then all of a sudden, there was just 2 tanks like right in front of us. We engaged the 76, so the heavier tank back that was in the foreground. We took him out real quick. We shifted our target to the little medium 75 Sherman. He threw some smoke in our face, but we were able to get 2 rounds through the smoke and just took out their line there. Took out 3 tanks in like 5 minutes, and
So
that was a
satisfying.
crazy moment. It's a satisfying moment for sure, but I think for me, additionally, it shows that the training and the drills that we've been doing in Seco have been working, and it's our efforts paying off, like the section leaders, platoon staff. It's those efforts to make sure that we're getting the right information and the right knowledge paying off in an actual operation where our entire crew were running like clockwork, and it's a great moment to see. It's really, really awesome to see all come together in an epic moment like that. So that's I mean, you can't recreate that anywhere else.
No, that's a like a pure gaming moment, right? Where like everything's just clicking, and you and your friends that you've been practicing like with and playing with just kind of all are in sync. It's like literally a well-oiled machine at that point.
Yeah, it was awesome. Actually, Sotelo just is in the chat there. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Sotelo. We got a lucky shot on them because they actually turned like 90 degrees when we fired through the smoke. We hit their engine, so they couldn't move
Oh
anywhere.
yeah, that's like prime. Yeah, they were just
Yeah, we got
dead in the
super
water.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
awesome.
mean, hey,
But,
that's part of Hell Let Loose, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll have some of these really tough, nitty gritty, pretty much meat grinder engagements in these operations with these guys, and it's
Yeah.
just you don't have that level of coordination where you can do that in a public game. So
yeah, definitely something unique to the Cav where it's not just literally like throwing paper into a shredder. It's going back and forth constant. It's just so fun. Cool. Anybody else got a memorable gaming moment from the last year? Bud, you got one?
Well, I mean, I have a lot. I have one
Yeah.
from, I have one from, I guess, towards the end of last year, early of this year, if that counts.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a time where Among Us was the big thing, and we would get a whole bunch of people together to play Among Us. Um, and there was one week in the beginning of this year where I think we had 15 to 16 people show up to play Among Us like 3 or 4 nights in a row.
Nice, yeah.
And the amount of laughs, the amount of just the shit talking and everything going back and forth, and I mean that was probably the most fun that I've had playing any game in I don't know how long. Um, but yeah,
I think those nights when you're doing not Cav games, right? Like it's just hanging out with the Cav friends, like playing Scriblio, playing Among Us, like those are what makes the Cav. Like the SPs, the practice, the ops, all that stuff is great, and it's is what it is. But the camaraderie you build on the side, playing random games or like playing like poker or just doing whatever, just whatever's outside the regular Cav games, that's what really like is the glue to the Cav for sure.
yeah, it's just a different atmosphere. You're all the same guys. You're all the same, people that play their game seriously and everything. But
Yeah.
it shows that you can blow off some steam and have some fun, and you have a bunch of good people to do it with.
Yeah, it's nice when rank kind of goes out the door and everybody just becomes a gamer in those moments.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. We'll jump to our next question. Let's see. How has being part of the Cav positively impacted your life outside of gaming? And if anybody wants to answer that one, if they don't have a good answer for it, I have a good answer for it.
I actually do. However, it bleeds into 8 as well. I didn't know if you wanted.
Oh yeah, feel free. Yeah, and
Okay.
we'll just kind of follow up with 8 once we're done with it. So that works.
Well, so in my first adventures, I dabbled a little bit too heavy. Followed different advice. Long fucking story. Um, but in the gaps where I was away, it was they're always to keep in touch. People keeping in touch. In 2017, when I had my episode that forced me to go into therapy extensively, started getting in some dark places. 2019 got really dark. I ended up living on a little houseboat out on Center Hill Lake. I couldn't socialize well. I couldn't be in the city that I was in. All of these things, mental blocks became physical anxieties. It was really, it was bad. It was pretty fucking horrible, honestly.
Yeah.
But I had Robbie, Lindsay, Lewis, Talent, some of these others that I've kept in touch with over the years. Anybody that I may be forgetting, I'm terribly sorry. But we were living out there, man, and even though it was peaceful for a time, the internet, you don't understand the liberties you have. So when we moved out there, my internet was just total shit.
Yeah.
They ended up, I wasn't in a position to do so. They got together, maybe with some others, and they got me a gaming laptop. I tried to get back into the Cav with the gaming laptop, but even with that and the shitty internet, it just didn't work out. And then being able to come back now in a better capacity, as a matter of fact, was able to as soon as I ended up getting squared away and being welcomed without question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To know that, of course, there's a bleed into some of these other fucking questions, but to know that this door is open and all you got to do is step foot, right? And whether you're in a really, really good mood or a really, really shitty mood, or in that mediocre where you don't want to bleed over, you have some place to go to.
Yeah.
You know that you can come here and you can sit down, even if it's for 5 minutes, and more than likely you're going to be laughing by the time it's over with, right? So it's to be able to have that place to be able to jump out and get better.
Yeah.
Jump out and be with like-minded people that like the same things that you do. You may not be in the same damn element, and it doesn't matter. You're in a home. This is a home. And it's like we said before, it's the brotherhood, and that's what's always called me back. And this is something that man, I dabbled in some role play community bullshit. There's there's nothing like this. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but there's nothing like this, right? I appreciate some of the things that I've done outside of here. However, there's nothing like here. And there are going to be grumblings. Hell, we all grumble about something. But at the same time, to have this, have the dedicated personnel to take care of this and treat it like it has, and then have it last as long as it have, to have an open door for you to come in and step in and be welcomed, how can you slap that away?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is the saving grace for me. This is it makes it all come together here for me.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I mean, the Cav, I mean, unless you do something absolutely reprehensible, the Cav doesn't close its doors on any of its, current members or former members. It's as you said, it's always open, right? Like the Discord's always on. The servers are almost always up unless we have some random technical difficulties. But there's always somebody around to talk to, hang out with. And it really is what makes this place feel like a brotherhood, a community. There's a reason why, our general Chance has been here 10 plus years. There's a reason why I've been here 5 plus years. There's a reason why people like Robbie come back after a hiatus. Law comes back after a hiatus. It's really just so quintessential of a community. And I always try and explain it to my wife, like she has her friends that she can talk to, and hang out with, talk on the phone. Like they haven't seen each other in years, but as soon as they get on the phone or get hanging out in person, it's like, they just left yesterday. That's exactly what the Cav is like every single time you get online. It's like hanging out with your friends that you literally haven't seen in years, but it feels like it was yesterday that you saw them. And
Exactly.
it's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we all have those highs and lows in life. So, I mean, again, it's what differentiates this community from others. It's the fact that if I'm having a bad day, I can come on. I know I have something to look forward to when I get home from work or when I get home from doing some schoolwork. I can come on, play games, laugh it off with these crackheads, and hang out with them for hours on end. So it's something that I look forward to, especially at the end of the day. It really is something like I get to get on the computer and hang out with my buddies. So I really appreciate it. I'm really thankful for these guys. So it's something that you can't get anywhere else, and I haven't gotten anywhere else. So, and I would like to say hi, Audrey.
Nice.
Man.
But yeah, it's true. I mean, there's even been experiences I've had, like there was not that long ago, Bud and I, and that's the other thing, part of it, right? Like you can get into an argument with some people here. Like Bud and I got into an argument not that long ago when we were doing a lot of the Discord changes. And at the moment, right, like everybody was heated, there was miscommunications, but then once you figure it out and talk it out for like 5 minutes, then you're like, oh, okay, like it was just a miscommunication, we're all good. Like those memories, like yes, they're there, but the fact that you can get over them so quickly makes you realize that everybody here is just passionate and wants the best for each other. And it's such a cool thing about this community. Like you can have complete different beliefs and ways of handling things than other people around you, but at the end of the day, we're all part of the same community and we all play the same games, and that's what makes it special.
99% of all problems in the cab can be solved in a voice channel.
Yep.
Get in, hash it out, and talk to each other.
Or a 1v1. That also works.
Yeah,
1v1 me, bro.
If it can't be worked out, there can at least be an understanding.
Yeah.
Sure I personally don't feel like grudges are held here in the Cav, at least not nearly to the scale that they will in other communities. And not to like talk bad about other communities, but I feel like we've found a really good system here in the Cav to do exactly that. Like, oh, we're having an argument, let's step away for a minute, come back and like look at it again and figure out why were we arguing in the first place and how can we stop arguing and get on the same level. Even if we're not in complete agreement, we can at least like understand what the other one is talking about. And I think that's a really unique thing for us. I mean, I'm sure we're not the only ones like that, but certainly seem to have that down pretty tight.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And I think you summed it up well. All right. Cool. Anybody else have anything else they want to add to that question? Obviously, it was kind of a pointed question, and it led into some other stuff. But anybody else have anything they want to add that they're had a positive impact from stuff, whether it was in or out of the Cav? Cool. All right. Let's jump over to the next question. And we'll go to Bud for this one. I think Bud will be one of the best people to answer this since his role is ACD. What game are you most excited for that the CAF has introduced you to this year? And it doesn't have to be a supported game, or it can be a supported game, or it could be an upcoming game that you're excited for. But what is the game that you're most excited for?
Whew. Well, I guess the game I'm most excited for is probably DCS. I have the game. I have it bought. I have it everything. Lieutenant May actually helped me out and gave me one of his old joysticks.
Nice.
I have it all set up. I just don't have the storage on my computer to actually download it before having to delete other games. So I'm working on getting some new hard drive for that. And once I do, I'm going to be up and flying, and hopefully I can earn my Big Bird call sign. But yeah, that's probably the game I'm most excited for right now.
Oh my God,
I want to get in and learn how to fly. I don't know so much about the fixed wings and stuff like that. I feel like the rotary might be more of my style, but
yeah.
I'm excited to start working on that.
Nice. That's awesome. There's one question that I have about DCS because I haven't touched it in a long time because I'm god awful at it. When you're doing like rotary, right? Obviously in a standard like Blackhawk or whatever, you have like a crew. Is that set up in DCS? I honestly have no idea.
I'll be honest, I don't know either.
Maybe someone else in here knows. I don't know. But I always wondered because like obviously we have rotary crew in 1.7, but I didn't know if rotary crew like existed in DCS.
I don't think so. I'm not positive. I think it's more of you get in the helicopter and that's.
Well, that just hurts my heart.
It's all
that
on you,
hurts my heart right there.
Yeah, we can get you a dual membership law so you can get that taken care of.
Oh my God, it hurts my heart.
Right.
But I can ask. Maybe let me see if I can ask and find out. But I'm not positive off the top of my head.
I've actually got stuff for DCS. I've got the F-14, and the reason why I got it is when the Cav decided to support it years ago. I picked it up to try to be a Rio for one of the pilots, and it just kind of petered out for me. But I've got it. I just haven't touched it. It intimidates the shit out of me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I don't remember who I was talking to. It might have been May or Langlois not that long ago, but they were saying that there is a downloadable content or something for it where you can actually do like an RTS commander or something where you're like actually commanding stuff on the ground. And I was like, oh, that might be something that I could do in DCS because I have no idea how to like even start up an aircraft. I've like watched videos and stuff. And I'm like, I got no idea what's going
on. I just spoke to May. He said there is crew.
Oh, there is crew.
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Well, now you got Law interested. Now
look out now.
Law might turn tables
look out.
here.
So,
Lindsay, get DCS going, son. Let's go, baby.
Watch out, Alpha Co.
Yeah, I might have to tide you guys over till Arma 4 comes out here soon, which I'm sure anybody who plays Arma is excited for.
Right.
Yeah. Not. I mean, back to what I was saying about the game I'm excited for. It's not really DCS itself. It's just seeing those guys down there in Alpha ACD and how passionate they are about that game.
Dude, I wanted to just pop in there and just sit and listen because you know what I mean? But I don't want to be that guy.
Their knowledge of that game and how to fly those aircraft is just, I can't even comprehend it. Probably just to learn how to fly one aircraft, it'll take me 2 weeks, but there are some guys down there that know how to fly every single aircraft. They can do it well. And I'm just like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I think I said it in a previous podcast, but I would, when they say like, oh, like if you were talking to ATC on the headset, do you think you'd be able to land an aircraft? And I really do honestly think that people that play DCS would be able to figure it out.
Yeah, without a doubt.
No doubt.
All right.
I mean, I don't play DCS, but I'm pretty sure I could land that plane.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, of course, yeah. I'm sure they have a manual or something to walk me through, right? Like it can't be that hard. Oh, I love it. All right. In the spirit of Thanksgiving, Anderson, what would you say you are most proud of as far as gaming achievements go this year?
Oh, I don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, I'm definitely proud of a lot of the work we've done in the platoon. I've had been fortunate enough to just be within the same platoon since I joined, which is really cool. Like I went from being just a regular trooper to now the platoon leader, and I feel like we've come a long way. Because the platoon had just formed when I joined, so we were kind of starting. I don't want to say starting from scratch, but like kind of finding our footing as far as squad leaders and all of that, and I feel like we came a really far away with that. Actual like gameplay gaming achievement, I'm really like thankful for how much I've learned about all aspects of just Hell Let Loose in general. I've gotten a lot better at it since joining. Put a lot of hours into it now. More hours than I probably ever would have without the Cav.
Right.
So just a lot of fun with that. Gotten some cool medals from this and that, both from like secondary billets and from doing operations and things like that, which I think is another really cool thing that we do here is, rewarding guys for doing cool things outside of just being like, here's like an achievement for killing 100 people without dying or whatever in Hell Let Loose, and so it's just a fun addition that we do. Um, I don't know if there's any one that I'm like particularly like proud of and want to like show off or anything like that, but just the general fun I've had has made me really proud. Um, as
I mean,
well as
shoot,
just
man,
my
becoming a
my
platoon
skill.
leader, that should be one enough reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Because now you are the one, the front line that gets to influence those guys that you kind of came up with, and I think that is something that you should be proud of, because not everybody does get selected to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that are interested, but they can only pick one for each platoon, so
Right.
it's something important, and I think that's something for sure you should be proud of.
Yeah, and I think it's actually been relatively helpful. And I think going into next year even more so, where I can start guiding it a little bit more the way I'd like. Coming from being among like the guys as a trooper, I kind of know where our skill level was at and where things need to be worked on at that level, where a platoon leader who's not doing that kind of thing might not see or recognize right away. So I think that's really beneficial to like actually know where our improvement points are from actually not having those initially working out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Cool. Let's see. Anybody else got anything they want to add?
Well, it's not really an achievement per se. However, in the 11 years I've been playing with War Thunder, I finally got into top tier and spaded the F-14A and the F-14B. So
that is not an easy feat.
dude, I was excited. I was, yeah, and now I'm getting my ass handed to me on the routine, but it's still worthwhile. I accomplished it.
That's awesome. All right. Cool. Next question. Oh, let's see. I think we'll jump into question number 7. Let's go. We're gonna ask Captain Robbie this one. Captain Robbie, what lessons have you learned from gaming with the Cav that you're thankful for? I'm sure patience is number one.
Aren't you? Oh, of course. Everyone who's anyone knows I'm a fountain of patience.
I wouldn't have said fountain, but okay.
A shallow kiddie's pool of patience.
Yeah, there you go.
Rip, what was say the question again? Sorry.
Yeah. What lessons have you learned from gaming with the Cav? Or sorry, gaming with the Cav that you're thankful for. So, what lessons have you learned gaming with the Cav that you're thankful for?
Oh man, that's a good. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'd have to say patience and faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, patience and faith. As much as you just joked about it, but yeah, actually, like when you're, and it depends on the setting. I think if you're, you're playing a casual game with people, you're really just having fun and having a good time and having a blast and just doing stuff. But when you're doing an official operation, or you're putting together an official operation, and there's multiple different moving parts to it,
Yeah.
you have to have the patience to let everybody else do what they need to do without breathing down their neck, and hope that they have the patience for you to do what you need to do without them breathing down your neck. And having faith that people know what they're doing and that they will do it and do it properly without any extra interference from anyone else.
Yeah.
I think as people kind of get into those roles with the Cav, they hopefully will find that that is something that is very useful and conducive to a smooth running operation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's true, and it's honestly like a bit of trust, right? Like people are put in those positions, so obviously you have faith in them, but you also have a lot of trust that they're going to handle those tasks correctly and efficiently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, spot on, love it. Anybody else got anything they want to add? What lessons they've learned and are thankful for in the Cav?
Adaptability, adjustability, and restraint.
Oh, I like that. It is definitely not easy sometimes to have restraint, but yeah, I would say that's a good level that you kind of pick up over time in the Cav. Cool. All right. Rolling right along is what I wanted to say. Can any of you guys recall a challenging moment in your life this year where the Cavs support made a difference for you? Obviously, Law, you already kind of emphasized on that, but does anybody else have anything they want to add to that? And if not, that's totally fine.
I have a little something. Back over the summer, I was traveling for work, so I was gone quite a bit.
Yeah.
Away from home and all that kind of stuff, and feeling a little homesick, a little lonely because travel by myself, and always being able to hop on Discord or talk to people or whatever. It kind of helped me get through that a little bit. Just knowing that I have some people there that I can talk to, help pass the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that is a great part of the Cav is you have that crutch of just having people there, especially like you said when you're in another country or you're in a dark place or whatever. Anytime you need company, there's always somebody around, whether it's text or voice, whatever. I think that is by far the best part about the Cav for sure.
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, and since we're getting close to being top of the hour, we'll kind of wrap it up with our last question here. So looking ahead, what are each of you guys hopeful for in terms of the Cavs' future and continued growth? And we can kind of popcorn whoever wants to go first, but I'd like to hear from everybody. What are you guys hopeful for in the Cavs' future and continued growth?
Well, I guess I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
In terms of the future, I'm just excited to see what kind of new games that we can bring on. Down in ACD, we brought on 3 new, one returning squad, but technically 4 new games, including Star Citizen, in the past year and a half. I think it's really cool to see how diversified we've become in terms of the different games that we support. Um, and as long as these developers keep bringing out new games and stuff that can kind of fit into what the Cav is and what we expect and um, all that kind of stuff, the sky's kind of the limit with the amount of different games and stuff. And regardless of how big they grow or don't grow, it's still bringing more exposure to the Cav, and it's still bringing more people into the Brotherhood. So I'm kind of excited to kind of see where we can go from that.
Nice. Yeah, I will say, just kind of tack onto that, I am excited to see how that Star Wars startup thing goes. I know they got quite a few people interested, and it's definitely outside of our regular, purview of games. But if it's successful, that's great. I would love to see, what they come up with and how they're going to do it. But I think over time, we'll see if stuff like that is even feasible in the Cav atmosphere and culture. But if they can make it work, more power to them.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Law? What are you looking forward to in the Cavs' future?
I think I like seeing the forward progression that keeps going on from the time when I started, which during that time, and if I recall correctly, we had a limited theater. So seeing it now to me shows the more open-mindedness and the allowance.
Yeah.
I also, man, I'm like many others are chomping for Arma 4. So in terms of, you know, uh, being able to transition like we did from Arma 2 to Arma 3 and now from Arma 3 to Arma 4, I'm excited to see how that would work out. And then the possibility of the recruitment of the new personnel coming in, and uh, no offense to anybody when I say this, but being able to see kids come in and take leadership roles and be able to do these things is kind of a motivator to me. Being older, it shows that you have still this spark where you're going to be taken care of. You know,
Yeah.
I know it's a different perspective. I find it interesting, but the sky's the limit. It's already been said. The only thing that we do a lot of times is shoot ourselves in the foot by saying no.
Yeah.
I think being more open minded to that. I have seen uh, the reception. Um, I think there's more good things to come. The leadership on down. It's just the possibilities that are here, and then of course with the technology and all the different games and how open we are to it, there's no telling. Right. As far as a game that I'm excited for is Enshrouded. So if there's a contingent of us that end up playing that, I will be more than happy to play. Not give up my crew chief role unless I can crew chief an action. But no, it's just that open mindedness, man. The ability to see people come in, bring new ideas, and watch it develop.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah, I think that's telling for sure. I would agree with every single point you made. I'm gonna have to look into Enshrouded. I haven't heard anything about that, but I'm gonna take a look because a recommendation from Blah is basically gospel. So
Bless your heart.
And now it's out to the whole Cavs. So
now it's out to the whole Cav. So everyone's got to be played in Enshrouded.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Hey, time will tell, right?
That's it.
What about you, Anderson? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, just another great year moving forward. There's some games I've got my eye on that I'm hoping work out, but we'll just have to wait and see. And just hanging out with the guys, it's just always such a blast, whether we're playing War Thunder or playing golf with friends or whatever else it is. Trying out games and being like, wow, this is horrible. Why did we buy this? Which it happens here and there, but just part of the experience.
It's all on a road to discovery.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it exactly. And unfortunately, Bush did have to take off a little bit earlier, so he already had to leave. But I will add, I am looking forward to just continuing to work with each and every one of you guys, as well as a lot of people across the regiment. I will say that myself, Theron, Robbie, Coble, a bunch of other regimental staff members are always hanging out in lounge channels, voice rooms, whatever. And again, you guys are more than welcome to pop in, just hang out, say hi. I've made a lot of good friends across 1.7 and 2.7 and some in ACD. But I'm always happy to play games with you guys, especially if I have it already. It's the reason we're all here is to hang out and play games. So hopefully, we can continue to build relationships across the next year. And again, I just want to thank all of you guys for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And again, I also want to thank Captain Robbie for helping produce this episode and bringing everybody together. He is the grandfather to this group of Thanksgiving feasters. So thank you for bringing the family together for this wonderful recording session. And yeah,
my pleasure.
I hope everyone else has a good rest of their Thanksgiving weekend. And Robbie, do you have anything you want to tie off the episode with?
I'd say just everybody keep your eyes and ears open for future Cav Casts. NextX and I have some interesting ideas for the near and distant future.
Yeah, awesome.
Beautiful.
Appreciate you guys all. Hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their evening. And until next time, this is the Cav Cast. I am your host, Command Sergeant Major NextX. And yeah, stay frosty, and we'll see you guys next time.
Special shout out to Alpha Company boys. Thank you. Love you.
Classic law. Have a good night, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yep.